Once again, the Chainsaw Man community has proven that they live inside of Fujimoto's walls. And I'll be honest with you, I have no idea why I constantly doubt all of you guys when you guys are theorizing or talking about what's going to happen after Fujimoto's cliffhangers, because at this point, honestly, 8 times out of 10, you guys are almost always right. As long as it has nothing to do with Rize or Nayuta, everything that you guys bring up in the Chainsaw Man community almost always ends up being right. Because when everyone was theorizing about who this character would be that the Fire Devil wanted Denji to look upon and try to remember, when a lot of you guys said it would be one of the people that was killed when Denji went to go save the cat, I said, no way. There's no way Fujimoto would go that far back and pull a full circle moment like this with such a minuscule moment and gag. And yet here we are today standing on Chainsaw Man chapter 205 when the Fire Devil reveals that yes, indeed so, one of the people making up the giant fake Chainsaw Man and the person that Denji helped kill and the person that the Fire Devil wanted to remember was indeed one of the people that Denji did not save instead of saving the cat. Hey guys, real quick, if you want to support the channel, make sure you go down to gamersubs.gg/noop and get 10% off your nootropics and energy supplement fix, and we'll get back to the video. So, how did this occur? I will do my best to explain not only what happened, but why this happens and what this has to do themes and symbolism wise throughout the story. The Fire Devil reveals that actually he was in a similar situation to Pochita, where he was a very injured and weak devil and needed to be nursed back to health by human people. And whether or not they made some kind of contract, these people were inspired by Chainsaw Man saving humans and showing the world that devils aren't always bad. And based off of Chainsaw Man's philosophy, they chose to bring the Fire Devil back to life and bring it back to its maximum stage. And as they were treating their injuries, they shared the gospel of Chainsaw Man with the Fire Devil. And in return, the Fire Devil granted these characters, you know, the essence of their dreams, which was making contracts with them and all of the other people that had quote unquote justice in their heart, which I think it's interesting how the devil twists these humans' words into something that is so fitting for like just eldritch horror. Like, yeah, you guys said that you had justice in your hearts and you wanted to, you know, be like Chainsaw Man. So I took the Justice Devil, pretended to be them, put justice in all of these people's hearts, and then turn them into Chainsaw Man. This is exactly what you guys wanted, right? And I guess that is the case because according to this person, when these people were blessed with Chainsaw Man powers, quote unquote, they were so proud of the time that they were able to save people. However, unfortunately, they weren't able to access those powers during the time when Denji was fighting the cockroach devil. And in a moment, Denji chose to save the cat instead of any of the people, and the younger brother died. Denji does not remember this person's face. Denji didn't even look at him when it happened, when this is happening now. And I think the main point of this, from based off what the Fire Devil says to us, this man was a huge fan of Chainsaw Man. This man idolized and lived up to everything that Chainsaw Man, you know, seemed to be for him. And all for naught, because no matter what he did, try to save people, tried to inspire justice, Chainsaw Man, the actual Chainsaw Man, betrayed him, quote unquote, and left him to die simply because he wanted to save a cat instead. Just like Fake Saw Man was saying earlier, you know, all of those people that he used that were flying with Falling Devil's gravity, Denji chose to save the woman instead of anybody else. And even Fake Saw Man was like, you really only saved her because she was a woman, huh? And the fact that he's constantly running around with Yoru and just acting very much devilish. This is kind of what I was mentioning in my last couple of chapter reviews, where this is where Denji's coming to a crossroads. The things that he is doing are completely dehumanizing other humans. He is, in trying to live his best life, he is tearing apart what he has built already. He is betraying the people that idolized him and viewed him as a savior, to the point where someone that thought Denji would save him was not saved by Denji. So when Denji asks, you know, are you here to ask me to apologize? The Fire Devil says, wrong, you know, you are a devil after all. And it makes me think that yes, Denji is going to have to decide at the end of this apocalypse, is humanity worth saving? Or is it just safer and more fun to live his best life as a devil. But then here comes the next question. If Denji has stopped being what Chainsaw Man is supposed to be, is Denji really Chainsaw Man anymore? Is the Fire Devil kind of correct in assuming that these fake Saw Man, these people that have been blessed with chainsaws, they are the correct interpretation of what Chainsaw Man is supposed to be, whereas Denji no longer fits that? It's an interesting concept, and I'm really seriously excited to see where it goes, because one thing that I love most about Fujimoto's manga is his character development, his character interactions, and his writing. I think that has been the highlight of part 2. So to see Denji kind of at a, do I go left to become a devil or a right to stay human, is something very obvious he would have had to question at some point in this story. Because again, he can't live in both worlds. He needs to choose one. It's kind of the same issue that has been going on with part 2 from the very beginning. Like Yoshida has been trying to tell him, you can't have both. You have to choose one life. And I think we are now reducing it to its purest forms. Are you a man or are you a devil? The Fire Devil tells Denji that you are going to have one more chance to choose between two options. Most likely the chance to save two different people. Now, the Fire Devil says this time, don't make the same mistake you did before, implying that Denji saving the cat and saving the animal was the wrong decision to make instead of saving his fan. Because one thing I do want to point out that is a little bit of a hypocritical moment for the Fire Devil. The Fire Devil does not mention whatsoever the people in the car that Denji didn't save, showing that while the Fire Devil is saying, hey Denji, you are no longer living up to your values, you let this person that loved you die. But the Fire Devil has bias because this is one of the people that saved the Fire Devil, the same way that Pochita would have bias trying to save Denji for Denji showing Pochita another side. So did those people in the car not have justice in their hearts? Were they dehumanized and lower valued? Was making the mistake not choosing the younger brother? So the Fire Devil might be essentially saying that, hey, you made the wrong choice. You should have saved this person who was your fan. Those people in the car, screw those people. Your fans are what's important. However, it tells me that there's always a third option. Nothing is ever black and white. And I think that's also an important distinction to make that may be a path Denji walks down. That choice to save the car, save the person, now being reduced to, do you save the random people that you don't know and have nothing to do with anything? Or do you save the person who loves you and idolizes you? However, even in that instance, Denji chose to save the cat. He saw a way that no one else would see, that only his unique eyes would be able to pick up on. And if he's asked to make a choice again between two options, something tells me Denji will always find that third option, that middle way. If that is a way for Denji to live both lives and he's able to prove everybody wrong, or he's able to take both paths and merge them together in a way that no one has ever seen before, I don't know. I know that Fujimoto has the potential to cook it though. I really, again, have been loving Chainsaw Man Part 2. I know it's had some low points, but I really do think that, especially as we near the end, a lot of these things and a lot of these choices that people have been questioning are starting to come back together and make sense. The very fact that Fujimoto has pulled something like the cat person situation is crazy to me. And the chapter ends with the beginning of what might be the choice Denji has to make. Yoru flies in on a building completely crushed in half because Yoru was completely overestimating herself, thought she could handle the falling devil, and clearly that is not the case. She is clearly getting destroyed by the falling devil. So I don't know why she thinks Denji is going to be able to handle this primal fear, but it seems to me that Denji is now going to have to make a decision between Yoru and someone that cares about him, someone that idolizes him. We don't know who that person may be, whether it might even be a decision between Asa and Yoru themselves. So while we need to look out for whatever happens in these next chapters, because the Falling Devil, having been a character we've already fought, I'm pretty sure is not going to be the relevant factor in this small arc that we're in right now. I completely believe this is a Denji development moment for him, and I'm interested to see what that other choice is. And again, always be on the lookout for that third choice as well. But guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, hit that like button. If you did, it lets me know that you guys like these Chainsaw Man reviews. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe because the YouTube algorithm absolutely loves that. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.